This is a new day. This is a new day full of sound. Yes, lots of light and expectation. This day has been waiting for you. It's been waiting especially for you, to embrace you, to guide you. This day has been waiting with open arms, waiting for your return. This is the day we have been given. Let's not waste it. Come now and let us worship together. Please rise and body your spirit for our first hymn, hymn 346. 346. Good morning, everyone. Happy Father's Day. It's a beautiful day for it. I heard some exciting news from a couple coming in. I'd love to congratulate Courtney and, remind me, Joel. Courtney and Joel are engaged as of today. So. Good. And today's a great day. I mean, keep going, right? I know. Today's a great day. I don't know if you know this, but we have lots of food today. So everyone's welcome. If you're able to join us downstairs after, we have a wonderful spread, potluck and drinks. Definitely come join us for that. And this coming Thursday, it's coming up soon, there's a summer solstice celebration and meditation. We're going to have a fire out on our patio this coming Thursday on the summer solstice at 7 p.m. to honor I believe it's the most bright day of the year and the longest day of the year in terms of the amount of light. So that's going to be, I think, pretty cool. So join us for that. And this coming weekend, we have both a rummage sale and a Zen meditation retreat happening at the same time, which is kind of great. So if you're interested in either of those things, you can talk to Kathleen about the rummage sale. If you're interested with the Zen meditation thing and you want to ask questions, you can talk to me. I'd love to talk with you. It's open to everyone. I now would love to hear from Melissa Smith for our chalice lighting.
Initial, also an announcement that beside the fact this is Father's Day, this coming weekend is going to be General Assembly of the UUA, and there are a lot of things that will be available through YouTube, so just check it out if you're interested. Today we officially welcome Reverend Joseph back from his sabbatical, and we eagerly await his stories. Those of us who have been involved in providing worship services in his absence have striven individually to offer the best version of our visions and to work as a shared ministry to assure that things keep rolling. At the same time, we have come to appreciate even more that central role of our settled minister in the life of the church. He is the hub who allows us spokes who have spoken in his absence to reach towards the outermost rim of our congregation and its mission in the Mahoning Valley and the wider world. I reflect upon the circularity of the wheel metaphor as I contemplate the themes of today's service. The overall theme of the month is renewal. Reverend Joseph has announced that return again will be the focus of his sermonizing today. The prefix re unites these two themes, again and again. Ours is a progressive faith whose progress is continually cycling back on itself, making eternal truths spoken with renewed vigor and ready to communicate with a new age. As we return to what has been known in the past, we focus on the simple gifts of our community. From the soundtrack in my brain, I hear the lyrics of the Shaker hymn. To turn, turn shall be our delight, till by turning, turning, we come round right. And the voice of Pete Seeger reminds me that to everything, turn, 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 there is a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. Reverend Joseph chose the destinations of his sabbatical with purpose. We express gratitude that he has returned to us with a renewed sense of purpose, and with united purpose, we light our chalice.
Now let's greet our neighbor, especially if it's someone you haven't met before. It'd be great to say hello. Introduce yourself. My name is... Yeah.
I have to say that when Reverend Joseph rings that bell, you guys actually listen to it. That's so our story for today is called The Foolish Tortoise, written by Richard Buckley with pictures by Eric Carle, one of my favorites. A tortoise, tired of being slow, impatient to get up and go, took off his large and heavy shell and left it lying where it fell. Hooray, he cried. Now I've been freed. I'll see the world at double speed. Though faster, he was not express, and his protection was far less. So when he heard a hornet's drone, the tortoise crept beneath a stone. A hungry bird came swooping past. He looked so fierce and flew so fast. The tortoise hid behind some trees and felt quite weak behind the knees. I don't feel safe. There's too much risk. If only I could be more brisk. He headed for the riverbed. A fish swam up. The tortoise fled. Along his way, our hero went and almost had an accident. A snake with open jaws slid near. The tortoise backed away in fear. A hare, a hound, a horse raced by. So rapidly they seemed to fly. The tortoise gasped, sat Google-eyed. I'll never be that quick, he sighed. He wandered on. The sun rose high. I wish I had more shade, he cried. A sudden thunderstorm swept in and soaked the tortoise to the skin. The wind rose up, and soon the breeze was bending branches in the trees. The tortoise shivered. Now I'm cold. I wish I hadn't been so bold. I think I've lost the urge to roam. I think it's time I went home. Without my shell, I don't feel right. So when his shell came into sight, he climbed back in and said, good night. The end. So any children out there, could you come on up and help us to read our covenant with the congregation? Brave volunteer. So the covenant's also in your order of service, and you can read along with us. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And now we will sing our leaving song, which is also in your order of service. It's called Go Now in Peace. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Every week in our service, in addition to our pledge requests, we take an offering. It's good to remind ourselves from time to time that offering is symbolic as well as practical. We pass the plate during our worship service to make a community expression of thanks for the blessing of abundance and to support our community in a tangible way. This month, our offering goes to the minister's discretionary fund. The minister's discretionary fund exists so that the minister can respond to requests for financial assistance from individuals, families, and or groups in need, both within and outside of our congregation. Our church is supported by pledged income from members and friends like you. If you wish to make an offering to our church, please indicate on your check or envelope it is for UUYO. All other funds will be donated directly to the minister's discretionary fund this month. Thank you for your generous spirit. We will now receive the offering that supports the life of Youngstown, the Mahoning Valley, and our wider world.
I'll just take a moment or two to sit in silence and settle in and enjoy the sunshine coming in for a few moments.
Our first reading is called Returning by Tammy Holland. When I open the door and reach to the light switch, the world opens as it did each time. The garlic jar on the ledge, the ceramic cup holding cheese cutters and paring knives. Outside, a branch from the ash tree worries the window. It was a place where I knew the drawer pulls, the feel of steps to the basement, the smell of cool cement. If I open the middle cabinet, the linen is there as you left it, well ordered, none of it fine. Our second reading is going to be a responsive reading, which is number 571, and you can find those at the end of the gray hymnal that you should have in front of you. And if you flip to number 571, again, 571, called Universal Ministry. You will see, kind of in a call and response tradition, a set of text, and then your response is listed immediately beneath it in italics. So I'm going to read the normal font text, and you are welcome to respond verbally out loud with the italic text as we read along. Universal Ministry. The Spirit of God has sent me to bring good news to the oppressed, to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives and release to the prisoners, to comfort all who mourn, to give them a garland instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, the mantle of praise instead of a faint spirit. They shall build up the ancient ruins. They shall raise up the former devastations, the devastations of many generations. You shall be named ministers of our God.
When people ask me what ministry is, I never know what I'm going to say. One image that continues to live in my dreams and guide sometimes my living is this image of someone's life, my life, being handed back to me. Handed back to me. I've said that to a few people before, and more often than not, I get a vaguely nauseated and confused look when I say that. My life returned back to me. The look says to me, I don't want my life returned back to me. It's too much. Too much to bear. Too many tears. Too much stress. Not enough joy. Never enough rest. Very little spaces, crammed little spaces, trying to squeeze in some time for renewal. No, I really don't want my life handed back to me. Thank you. I want something else. I want something else. And the question is, what is this something else? We come here. Maybe we're looking for that. Maybe not. But we know the feeling of disappointment when we have failed to find what we are looking for, even if we're not sure what it is. There's a great story. Perhaps you've heard it before. Listen to it and see. It's a story about you and me. It's a story of starting to search for what we really want. And in the end, it's a story of return. It goes like this. A person grows up in a loving family. Go with me on this. Trust me. It's still about you and me. Trust me. All right? Just suspend that. A person grows up in a loving family. They're raised by great people. Their siblings have mixed feelings about their character, but in the end, there's love there. Money and material goods are plentiful. It's a place with a good amount of sunshine. It's not too hot, not too cold. Plants grow easily there. And you don't know this, but secretly, everyone is looking at your life with a lot of envy. They never tell you directly to your face, but behind closed doors, they say things like, what did they do to deserve this life? How come we don't have it? But here's the kicker. As the person actually living that wonderful life, on most days, you don't really care for it. It gets old. Even wonderful things start to feel claustrophobic. And on top of that, the expectation that you're supposed to be happy, given how your life is, gets really tiring. It wears you down. You start to wonder why you're not happy. And there seems to be no real satisfactory answer. But an answer comes for the reason why this discontent is happening, this disconnect, this vaguely nauseating feeling. And the answer is this. And once it comes, it brings with it a full force of persuasive power. I'm just not in the right life. I'm not in the right life. It might be great for some people, maybe for no one, but it's not the right life. It's not the right life for me. So you pick up and leave. You get out of Dodge. And because your family is so generous, they give you enough money that you never have to work a day in your life. Sounds pretty great, right? You're free to choose how you spend your time, what you do, who you love. You are freed from the constraints of your current life. Ah, what a relief that is. Something new, something exciting, something possible. So you throw parties, and you invite everyone. And when that party ends, you throw another and invite everyone. And when that party ends, you get the idea. And it's actually really thrilling. It's fun to dance with so many people. There's no limit to the food, no limit to the drinks. There's recreational cannabis available for you and everyone who wants it. And it's thrilling, right? It's thrilling. And it's thrilling for all the people you meet. Different personalities, different bodies, different stories. You can't get enough. You've created for yourself a hedonistic heaven. And sometimes it does feel heavenly, sublime. It's the thrill of a lifetime. The only thing your family didn't teach you, they taught you a lot of things, but the only thing they didn't teach you was how to budget. They taught you a lot of good things, and they loved you, but not how to budget. So it doesn't take long, and the money that was supposed to last you a lifetime lasted you a few years. And you go broke. Most of the people who came to all those parties start to disappear, first in small trickles, and then in droves. But you're left with a few really good friends. But you wear out their kindness. You borrow money, and you never pay it back. You stay on their couches months longer than you said you would. You wear their kindness so thin that one day your last friend says to you, you have to go. You can't stay here any longer. And you wander the streets. It's almost summer out, so you have that on your side at least. No freezing temperatures, but still it's not comfortable. At this point, you're not just houseless, you're homeless. A house is a place to live, but a home is a sense of where you belong. And I know for myself, and I'm guessing for almost everybody here, you know what that feels like in some small way. What it's like not to belong. For some, this feeling just lasts a moment, and it's gone. For some, that feeling lasts nearly a lifetime. We're having this feeling right now in this part of the story. Where do I belong? Who do I belong to? Oh, and I think I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but you're hungry too. No money for food, and you're hungry. You're hungry on so many levels that sometimes it hurts to breathe, because each breath reminds you of hunger, deep hunger. It's like a version of hell on earth, where each moment is a further reminder of what is missing. That's my new working definition of hell. the overpowering feeling that something is missing. Something is missing. You're feeling this acutely. And this feeling is validated by people who know you, the people who once knew you and spent time with you. They look at your life now and they say basically straight to your face, wow, there's a lot missing there. The hunger persists. And to top it off, the sun, which insists on being there so often, makes you thirsty. You're parched. And you're not just thirsty for water. You thirst for what could have been. What you once had, or what you could have had if you made different choices. You turn the thirst in on yourself, and you do this big post-game critique of your entire self. All the dumb and foolish things you did. And people tell you you shouldn't do this. They say, it's bad for your health. But I can't help it. We can't help it. After all this, an idea comes that at first seems a little depressing and defeating. The thought is, well, I could just go back to the home that I knew. I haven't talked to any of them for years now, and they're probably upset about that. And it won't be comfortable, but at least they have water there. They'll have food there. And even if I can't stay the night there, I can at least feed this hunger temporarily. So you walk the dusty road home because you don't have enough money for an Uber. They shut you out of your account for not paying your debts. So you walk the dusty road in the heat of late spring, right before the grass seed and pollen is at its height. Yes, you also have allergies in this story. You get there right before dinner time. You knock on the door of your old home and you are greeted by a familiar face who smiles and hugs you. And they say, I hope you plan to stay for dinner. We have more than enough, and we have to get to eating soon. So sit down. Grab yourself a plate. Story of a prodigal child. Do you know what the word prodigal means? It means wasteful. A prodigal child is someone like me, maybe like you, who wastes what we have. And in the end, even with our wastefulness, life in its great mercy gives us ample more opportunities to waste. Or do something else. But here's the wonderful thing. There's no expectation, actually, that you will do something else. Life's generosity keeps coming and coming, whether we waste it or not. It just keeps coming, feeding us, fulfilling our thirst, pulling up a chair for us, giving us a nice potluck celebration, again and again and again. My hope for myself is that I might have some response to that great generosity. To never discount the plainness and simplicity of life, as well as never lose sight of full potential. To not be above the plainness of the kitchen drawer that sticks in the summertime, and the fruit I forgot to eat that is now attracting fruit flies. To not overlook the dishes that are cracked because I don't know how to stack them properly. But also, to not lose sight of the expression of generosity, a way of life that can heal and nourish, that welcomes myself and anyone like myself that may be thinking they've wasted everything good in this world, and pulling up a chair, showing the continual generosity of life, returning our abundant life back to us again and again. But there's a part of that return that I think is important to mention. I've overlooked it for years, and now I think it might be the most important part of return. Our life is returned again and again to us, not to haunt us, not to haunt us, or let us live the same experience over and over and over again, like we're in Groundhog Day, but hell version. No, I don't think so. Our life is returned, I think, possibly, so we can experience what has always been true, but might have missed. The brightness of it. The shining brightness of it. Even in, maybe especially in, struggle. The shining brightness of it. As some of you know, I've returned from a sabbatical. I'm here now. I think I'm real. It's not AI. I'm in Japan right now. No, it was wonderful. And objectively, it was a very ambitious trip. I traveled to 3 different places in 3 months. 1 a month. Japan, I flew all the way to Japan, stopping in Hong Kong. I went to the deserts of New Mexico, and I walked all throughout Scotland, all in 3 months. I've never traveled so much in such a short period of time. And on one level, it was incredibly, overwhelmingly fun. It was pleasurable. Every day was filled with aliveness. Different people, different languages, different food. It was fantastic. But what I'm returning with is something I didn't really expect. A new discovery that I'm really grateful for. When I first walked in the doors on the first Sunday in June, I saw all of your faces. And I witnessed how gentle and light and caring you were with each other. It reminded me there's a different way to be. And it's not like I lost that, per se, but the fullness of that possibility was returned back to me. A return not just for me, but potentially for everyone. A return back to a vision of how we might live together. Having coffee, talking with one another, cleaning up, shaking hands, hugging, giving money, taking money, helping people's voices be heard, celebrating a queer theology, sitting in a cushioned wooden pew in silence just for a few moments. The simplest things in the world. Most wonderful things in the world. The quote I put on the wayside pulpit with much assistance, you know who you are, thank you. It's guiding me now. It's not so much what we do, but why and how. It's not so much what we do, but why and how. I think that's part of return. We get a sense not just what our life is, but access to why is unique to us. It's unique. Why do I do this? Why do I make coffee and wrestle with this big container for all these people? Why? And how? How do I want to express what matters to me? How? You all matter to me. This city matters to me. This congregation matters to me. Why? Because you return my life back to me again and again. Why? Because you return my life back to me again and again. All of it, including the bits I don't really want. But those are the good bits too. I see now they shine with a brightness which I don't pretend to understand. A brightness which comforts me when I'm at my low and brings me back to this sacred ground, the place of a genuine, real community. How do I want to live that? Honestly, I want to be a prodigal child. I want to be wasteful. I want to be exorbitant with this good news. I want to waste everything I have, everything I am, on realizing and living the brightness of our lives. I want to freely enter the story of the brokenhearted and find myself there. I want to be one with the captive and one with the person who found freedom. I want to be one with those who are in mourning, in grief, and one with those who laugh for no reason whatsoever. Wonderful, wasteful laughter. I want to be one with those who continually waste kindness on those who never seem to learn. I want to receive the last thing I wanted, the life I've been given. And I want to return it back to its source. All of you. Please pray with me. Spirit of love, so grateful for this beautiful sunny day. Thank you to everyone who made this possible. All those in this room, all those who are watching online, all the people who make this service possible, Tim Raridan, Andy Crabb, Melissa Smith, Eric Ramos, Ryan Strickler, many, many more who inspired this service in so many ways, just living their life. May we feast together. May we pull up a chair both for ourselves and for the person that we don't know. And may we truly feast. All this we pray. Amen. Please rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn. We'll Build a Land, which is 121 in the gray hymnal, 121.
Build a land, a broken We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we keep in our hearts until we are together again.
As I said, we have a feast awaiting us. So please join us. We have more than enough. As you depart, please remember the one great fact: you are loved and never truly alone.